Man, don't do it. Don't do it. Whatever you do not take the bait. They're gonna try to test you. They're gonna try to see what you made of. They're gonna think they know you. They're gonna think they know what makes you tick. So they're gonna definitely try to push your buttons. But whatever you do, don't take the bait. I'm trying to tell y'all. I just walk around a lot and live my life doing what I do. And sometimes I get these streams of consciousness where I'm like, damn, that's some real life shit right there. And if y'all don't know me by now, what I always try to do, what I always strive to do, what I'm motivated to do, and what I feel like my God given purpose is to do is to just put out that good shit, that real life shit, trying to give y'all some game, some shit that I'm kind of coming across and using in my personal life. And in this particular stream of consciousness, I became so highly aware that life, people in life, situations in life, all sorts of different things in life is going to test you. And I'm just here to let y'all know, don't fall for the bait. Matrix Productions. Unlocking levels, unlocking levels, unlocking levels. Hosted by Seal the Source. Tap in. What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Unlocking Levels. It's your boy Seal the Source. Thank you once again for tapping in. And in today's episode, I left y'all a little teaser in the beginning as I preface this episode. Just letting y'all know, don't take the bait. Don't fall for that shit. And I'm going to elaborate on that more as this episode progresses. But I want to reiterate that point. Whatever you walk away with from this episode, I just want y'all to remember, do not take the bait. And I should start off by saying that it's coming from a place of understanding myself so much more in terms of what makes me tick, what triggers me. And I came to the realization that if somebody could get me mad or even make me super happy, if there's anything that someone can do to trigger me emotionally and make me act out of pocket, then I'm falling for the bait. And I don't think it's necessarily a wrong thing to experience those things, to experience anger, to feel anger, or to even feel a heightened sense of happiness or joy, or whatever the case may be. I think that's all part of the human experience, right? What I'm really trying to tell y'all is that don't get too high off that shit. Don't get too low off that shit. Always try to remain poised. Experience it, feel it, enjoy it, be present with it, everything, all of the above. But at the same time, always come back to self and don't be controlled by that. You know what I'm saying? Um, One of the clear cut examples that I can really give is if somebody can make me angry by saying something to me, by offending me, something that hurts my feelings, that triggers me to react a certain type of way. For instance, one of the most common kind of examples that I point out is getting out on the road. If someone cuts me off, even flips me off, or even, just tailgates me, or I don't even know the term, but it just bumper to bumper, just following me up from behind, and is really trying to get at me and trying to trigger a response out of me to where I get angry and mad, and then now I pull over the car and he pulls over the car, and we get into all sorts of crazy shit. Now I'm completely out of pocket. That person has got me to react a certain type of way where I've lost full control of myself, and now I'm only moving based off of emotion. I'm not making smart decisions. And 9 times out of 10, I don't know the exact percentages, but when we move purely off emotions, um, some shady shit could go down. Because we're not really in the most clearest mindset, right? And that's why I try to tell y'all. And again, let me say this I've said it before in other episodes, but I'm gonna say it here and now again. When I'm talking y'all, I'm really talking to myself in a lot of ways too, like in every way actually, because everything that I'm learning, it's still new to me, and I'm still learning how to apply it in my own life. And for me, for so long, I have been an emotional type of person. I still very much feel deeply with emotions, and um, I'm learning how to manage them and control them more, and understand my, and that helps me. What helps me, excuse me, is actually helping is understanding self more. And the times that I'm able to reflect and be still and just let answers come to me, and um let things kind of progress without me giving an opinion on something or giving a reaction to it. I just kind of let things unfold. That those are the moments really where I learned a lot about myself. Um, Looking back in my past, I was an emotional wreck. To be honest with you, I didn't know which way was up. I was very I was a lot of different toxic qualities that I can kind of list off, but I'm not going to go down that road anymore. All I want to say is that I wasn't near, I wasn't as much in control of myself as I feel like I am now. Still plenty of work to do, still plenty of room to grow. And that's always going to be the case. I'm a walking work in progress. I'm learning every single day, but I think that I made tremendous strides in my life, and I think it's okay to pat yourself on the back sometimes. And if you're in that position as well, pat yourself on the back. If you're learning and you're growing and you're comprehending what works in your life and what doesn't work in your life, and how to get better results and how to enhance this experience of life for yourself, kudos to you. Shout out to you. Pat yourself on the back, champ, for real, because it takes a lot of intentional, tough work to build yourself from within, to be brutally honest with yourself, to look at yourself in the mirror and call yourself out in whatever ways you feel you need to call yourself out in. And then putting action behind that, right? Actually doing things to make changes, actual changes in your life. That ain't easy. I think it's an entire body of work that needs to be done. And especially if you're someone like myself who's kind of been operating from an arrogant state of mind for so long, thinking I knew everything and this, that, and the third. And now coming to a place where I feel like I'm just scratching the surface in terms of understanding how life really works. And that might, from somebody else's standpoint, that might seem um like a surprise, because I'm sitting in front of this camera talking about what works in life and what doesn't work in life. But I'm just being me. I'm being fully transparent with y'all, and I'm sharing what's been working for me, and just walking in my truth and learning how to do that authentically, being comfortable in my own skin. And I've developed a lot of love for myself, and not from a cocky standpoint, but just from a knowing standpoint that I know what I'm about. I know my intentions are pure. I've said that before. I know more and more the direction I'm moving in, what it is I want, who I am. And I think when you get to a place where I'm at right now and you're heading in the direction that I'm heading in, or in your own unique way, you're heading in your own direction, I think that clarity becomes so evident. It becomes so um tangible for you. And for me, that's kind of been the case. Like, I'll be real, all this work that I've been putting in behind the scenes, y'all don't see it, but I really take a lot of time to myself. um I study, I train, I spend time with myself, I get into nature, I do all sorts of these different things that help me raise my vibration and understand self, understand who I am at my core. And when you do that work for a long enough time, you start to see things, you start to understand things. But again, I feel like I'm only scratching the surface in terms of like how much there is left to understand and know. And it's just an infinite well, I feel like I'm just always learning. But let's steer the conversation back to the original topic of discussion. And I started this episode off by saying, do not take the bait. And I think the main reason why I want y'all to understand this podcast episode, what I want y'all to understand from this podcast episode is to not allow yourself to react. Yes, feel how you feel. Okay. Somebody could say something triggering to you. Someone could say something racist to you. Someone could say something sexist to you. Somebody can say something that flat out offends you and it triggers you. But remember, don't take the bait, because when we are operating off that emotion, that's when shit can get wicked straight up. And you start making poor choices and choices that can be extremely detrimental, um, in the short run and in the long run. We hear stories of these things all the time, like that example I made earlier, road rage. It's crazy. The two people that get into road rage, violence, don't even know each other. Don't even know each other. Yeah, the dude cut him off, whatever the case may be, flipped him off. And I've been in these situations and I've gotten out of the car ready to fight, ready to lose my life over this shit. And we don't even know each other. And the other person in the other car is ready to do the same. And we don't even know each other, man. And it's crazy how much can happen in such a short amount of time, um, when we're fueled off of emotion. And I'm not over here trying to say that emotion is a bad thing. I clearly encourage y'all to feel it all, but I always just want to gently remind y'all, like, be in control of it, be in control of your emotions, feel it, you know, step into it, but at the same time, move with more clarity rather than emotion. Um, and there's going to be people that are going to test you. I said this earlier in the episode. They really are. They're gonna be like, hey man, they're gonna call you out your name. They're gonna say some personal stuff, and they're gonna see what you're really about. Are you gonna react emotionally and get dragged down to that game? Or are you gonna try to find a way to vibrate higher at a different frequency? And the choice is always ours, no matter what someone does to us or says to us. The choice is always ours in terms of what we do, how we respond, rather than react. And I know it's easier said than done. Trust me, I do, because I'm still putting in so much work for myself. But again, me speaking to y'all is more of a reminder to myself as well. Um, and what I've come to the realization of too, man, is that if somebody could get me off my game that easy by saying something foul to me or whatever the case may be, not only do I have a ton more work left to do, but also I am a slave to that, because someone can control me like I'm their puppet if they just say X, Y, and Z to me, or do this, that, and the third to me. You know what I mean? And it's just like I get it. Like, you got to stand up and defend yourself. There's going to be moments like that, but there's always a smarter choice. I feel like there always is. And sometimes, and I'd say 99.9% of the time, that shit ain't even worth it to even engage with, you know? Um, I've said it before and I'll say it again here. Hurt people hurt people. Hurt people say hurtful things. And a lot of times, most oftentimes, that's more of a reflection of them than it is a personal attack on you. So I think when you truly grasp that and you truly understand that, it makes it that much easier to back off, to not take things personal, to turn the other cheek and just keep it moving. Because the more life you breathe into that situation, that person with that scenario going on, it can get dangerous. You're engaging with them, you're feeding fuel to the fire, which could then spark more shit that could lead to some undesired results. And you don't, I'm just, I think the whole point of this episode is really just to just be a gentle reminder out there. Be in control of your emotions. Feel it, yeah. We are emotional beings. There's nothing wrong with feeling what you feel, nothing whatsoever. But do your very best to always be in control and to make the best decisions that you can. And I know that it ain't easy, but with a little bit of work, you can get there. As I'm, as I think I'm getting to, um, not much really pisses me off anymore. And when it does, I start to look at myself. I'm like, okay, I catch myself a little bit like, man, this ain't really even worth my energy like that. So, there's a lot of different methods out there. I'd be happy to share more of them with you. I've shared plenty in the past through several different episodes. Specifically, our last episode with me, Rob, and Cam, where I talked about one of my biggest hacks right now is just to laugh, not to take things too serious, and just laugh. That's really been one of the biggest hacks that I've been able to use to help me in stressful situations that piss me off, that kind of get me out of pocket. And yeah, sometimes you just gotta kind of pull back and laugh for real. And that will just save you from so much grief, so much stress, so much anxiety, all of these undesired feelings. And yeah, you can keep your life moving. You can continue to work on what you want to work on, be where you want to be with who you want to be with, do the things that matter most instead of being so reactive off something that could just change your life forever. And that's the last thing I want for anybody, to be honest with you. That's the last thing I want for myself, for me to lose myself emotionally and get myself into a violent situation that you can't turn back from. Um, and yeah, I don't want to see that happen to anybody else. So that's what this message is all about. And I hope that y'all walked away with something that can help you in your life. And if you did, please hit that like button. If you aren't already subscribing to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications. I'm dropping episodes once every week, sometimes even twice. So sometimes even 3 times. So just be in the know. Follow the channel. Follow me at Instagram at unlocking levels at CL underscore the source. Um, I stay active, y'all, and you're gonna see me a lot more because I'm doing so much work. I feel like I'm at a place right now where I've just ramped up and intensified the work that I'm putting into myself. And I'm coming up with a lot of different life lessons that are very valuable for myself. And I'm seeing things clearer than I've ever seen them before. Like, no joke, for real. So yeah, I'm gonna be pumping out a lot more content as a promise, not only y'all, but to myself. And I'm gonna keep going with this thing, man. You know what I'm saying? And if you are rocking with me, I appreciate the love. And thank you for all the support, y'all. Till next time. Peace and love.